Hey y'all, thanks for stopping in. So Republicans had quite the day yesterday. What happened and how do they plan on moving forward? DailyMail.com, Defiant Speaker Mike Johnson insists he will try and impeach Mayorkas again after messy setback with humiliating defeats in Congress and hits back at Republicans claiming it was a disaster to get rid of McCarthy. After weeks of buildup, a resolution to impeach Mayorkas failed Tuesday night when Democrats pulled off an upset. Let's check out more. Speaker Mike Johnson insisted it wasn't his fault that the House GOP suffered dual, embarrassing vote failures and said they will try again to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas after a messy setback. Republicans failed to capture enough support to impeach Biden's top border official in a spectacular floor fiasco Tuesday night. And only minutes later, Johnson's $17.6 billion Israel aid standalone bill was also voted down by both Republicans and Democrats. Which is something I'm fine with because I'm tired of seeing U.S. dollars leave the country when our own border is allowing the amount of people the size of Pittsburgh in every month. But what's happening here is you're seeing the messy sausage-making process of democracy play out. And it's not always clean. It's not always pretty, Johnson told a gaggle of reporters on Wednesday. I mean, when is sausage-making process ever, clean or pretty? Mayorkas needs to be held accountable, Johnson said, insisting he wouldn't give up. Last night was a setback, but democracy is messy. We will pass those articles of impeachment. We'll do it on the next time around. But some Republicans aren't convinced that Johnson can get the GOP on the same page a little under 4 months after he's become the speaker. Getting rid of Speaker McCarthy has officially turned into an unmitigated disaster, Rep. Thomas Massie wrote on X after the two failed bills, one of which he voted against, Israel aid. All work on separate bills has ceased. Spending reductions have been traded for spending increases. Warrantless spying has been temporarily extended. Our majority has shrunk. Johnson responded to criticism. I don't think that this is a reflection of the leader. It's a reflection of the body itself. I think I'd have to agree with that. What's the use of having a Senate majority if they can't get on the same page and vote together? One thing's for sure, it certainly wastes the voters' time and effort when we go out and vote for these people if they're not going to align with our wishes and serve our will like they're supposed to. After weeks of buildup, a resolution to impeach Mayorkas failed Tuesday night when Democrats pulled off an upset by wheeling in Texas Democrat Al Green, who had just had surgery. The move seemingly caught Republicans by surprise. Their floor director was literally telling our floor director that Al was not going to be here, Republican Whip Tom Emmer told DailyMail.com. Republicans were then down one vote, with Majority Leader Steve Scalise out to recover from cancer treatment, and the resolution failed. Pretty much super dirty move by the Democrats, but what have you come to expect? I don't understand how their opposition, the people that work in the same room as them, don't understand what is common knowledge amongst the people, that the Democrats do whatever they want to win. I'm sure they had plans the whole time for Al Green to show up, even though their floor director said that he wasn't going to be there. And I'm sure they have no problems doing this while Steve Scalise is out to recover from cancer treatment. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that during COVID, Pelosi had everybody just mailing in their votes online. Didn't even have to show up to the building. It was followed by a failed bill that would have offered $17.6 billion to Israel, but needed to pass under suspension or 2/3 majority. Tom McClintock from California, who voted against the Mayorkas impeachment, said the floor humiliation wouldn't have happened under former Speaker Kevin McCarthy, calling it a self-inflicted wound by ousting the one person who could have led a razor-thin majority. Well, I would have to argue against that and say that I don't believe the actual impeachment would have began under Kevin McCarthy. So you can't say that it would have gone through under McCarthy when McCarthy would have never had it started. The 214 to 216 vote marked the second of three major legislative failures of the day for Republicans who remain deeply divided across the House and Senate. Immediately after the embarrassing Mayorkas vote, Speaker Mike Johnson's $17.6 billion aid standalone bill spectacularly failed in a 250 to 218 vote, another humiliating defeat for Republicans in a span of 15 minutes. Which that one I'm fine with. I'm done with aid leaving the country while our southern border is just an open sieve. And earlier in the day, Senate Republicans summarily killed the $118 billion bipartisan border and security supplemental deal they spent months negotiating and released only 2 days ago. Which I have a couple things to say about that. I'm also glad that one didn't go through. $20 billion of the $118 billion was actually going to the U.S. southern border. The rest, $60 billion, was going to Ukraine, and I think it's like $12 or $16 billion was going to Israel. At the same time, within that bill, it basically gives D.C. power of jurisdiction, which would essentially prevent Trump from being able to make moves once he wins in 2024. And also, I don't believe anybody should vote on a bill after only having 2 days to read it, when there's pretty much no way they could read through the bill in 2 days. I think it should be illegal for our elected leaders to vote on a bill that they have not personally read 100% of the words for. But back to the story. Impeaching Mayorkas was meant to be a rare unifier for the Republicans, who are deeply divided on other issues, but GOP leaders were left stunned by the results. The GOP impeachment bid hung by a thread, as Speaker Mike Johnson could only afford to lose 3 total votes. Republicans had even hauled back Rep. Hal Rogers, who was recovering from a car accident, but walked into the House floor in a full chest and neck brace to cast a yes vote in the unsuccessful impeachment effort. It really is a shame that the Republicans in Congress can't get on the same page, don't seem to understand the game that they're playing. While Democrats lock arms and unify on votes, Republicans just can't seem to get it right, and they're really letting the people down. If you agree, hit that like button. Also, I'm glad that the $17 billion Israel bill didn't make it through. I don't care if it was a Republican bill or not. People can laugh at it. That's fine. I think I've made my stance clear that I want the problem on our own homeland taken care of before we're worrying about other people's homelands. I want our borders secured before we're worrying about other countries' borders. I don't think that we should be spending money on foreign wars or other countries, while the same leaders are telling us that Social Security is going to dry up for people my age and younger. So if they can't take care of the working class in their own country, if they can't take care of the open border in their own country, they certainly don't deserve the right to send our money, our tax-paying dollars, to other countries to take care of their problems. And if you agree with that, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.